So today is April 14th. We're here with Fieron Frank. Is that how you say it?
Fieron Frank.
Fieron Frank. I love it, man.
Yes.
That's a
Thank
badass
you.
name.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. So Frank, we'll call you Frank.
Okay.
All right. So Frank, what is your intention for this reading, brother?
I've been looking into astrology. I know some of it. I'm still learning, a baby at it.
Okay.
And I looked into some of my placements, and I want to know the full. I want my natal chart to be fully exposed. I want to know everything about my natal chart and everything.
Okay, but like, what's the reason behind it? Why do you want to do that?
Why?
Yeah.
Knowledge. The only way to evolve and transform is to understand, know yourself.
True.
If you don't know yourself, how are you going to understand yourself and break the past?
Very true. I feel.
The,
Okay, so is there a particular goal or outcome that you're looking to achieve through this wisdom?
yeah, I want to know myself, and also help me understand myself and help me spiritually evolve in my craft.
Okay. What is your craft?
It's spirituality. It's the occult. It's witchcraft.
Okay, so are you a healer?
Yeah, I'm a healer, a shaman, a witch. Yeah.
Okay. So we want to deepen your spiritual gifts.
Yeah, and also my understanding.
Okay. Well, I can tell you off the bat, I was looking around at your chart here, in particular your solar return chart, which we'll get into here towards the end if you'd like that one too.
Sure.
And you have a lot of big change coming up, and you have a lot of deep things that you're going to be working through here in order to evolve.
I've been doing a lot of that.
Okay, beautiful. Well, let's bring up a chart, man, and see what comes through.
Sure.
So we have May 22nd, 1997, 9:50 p.m. in San Jose, California.
Yes.
All right. So
actually, it's Sandy. It's Los Gatos.
Yeah, but Los Gatos is like within like a 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
San Jose, so
okay.
That's fine. So the first thing that sticks out to me here is your North Node conjunct Mars. And North Node Mars, right on the cusp of the 9th and 10th house. This is, you have a massive amount of ambition and determination and willpower too when it comes to your life purpose. And with Mars there in the 9th house spilling over like in this lifetime, you're meant to take all the wisdom and the knowledge that you accrue, and like that is your life path. So very well articulated. But this kind of energy, the Mars, like when you're younger, like you haven't hit your Saturn return yet. So when I say when you're younger, you're still younger.
Yeah.
Saturn return is the time where sort of like that's like the first period in your life that is meant to test you, to change you, to really, really come into the next version of yourself. So you're still in this precursor to that period of time, but this is a good thing because you're kind of ahead of the power curve, right? But I will say that this Mars conjunct the North Node can be a very self-sabotaging energy as well, meaning that there's so much willpower, there's so much desire that you get fixated and or you get stuck in your ways. Like it's like needing to be right as opposed to being willing to grow, right? Like so your belief systems here can be very stubborn. All right, so you have to watch out for that stubbornness. And this could be like when you're younger, this is a lot of like potential like arguments, fights, just like, you're wrong, I'm right, and I'm going to prove it. Now that proving it part is sort of part of the willpower, but if when you take a step back into the conscious observer space of your life, and you see, okay, I have a lot of drama going on in my life, or I'm having situations and or experiences that are not to my fullest liking, that means that there is mirrors or reflections around you trying to teach you on how to evolve into this next best version of yourself, right? Um, you have, let's see, Chiron in the 11th house, retrograde.
Libra.
What's that?
I have Chiron in Libra.
Chiron Libra, yep. So this is all about, actually, here, I'm going to pull this up. Chiron in the, actually, let's go to, let's see, Chiron in the 11th house, Libra. Okay, when Chiron is in Libra, you are balancing the self in relationship to the other side. Understanding the self is garnered by looking at oneself in the mirror, which is offered by other people. These natives are trying to balance elements to make order out of chaos. And you only know yourself by the degree of harmony you observe in others, like I was just saying. This person is measuring him or herself by other responses almost constantly. So basically, the way you learn is through your interaction with other people. So if
That's true. Exactly. I do that.
triggers that are going on with other people, it means that that person is there to teach you something. And this goes down the deep, very vulnerable part of shame and guilt and resentment and all those lower vibration energies that will need to be purged out and looked at some point in time. You require strong relationships with plenty of feedback to get in touch with who they are. So you like to go deep with people, and there's multiple aspects here that validate, recommend, and support that. Chiron and Libra can cause Saturn fixations on the ruling parent from childhood. These people must really learn to identify what is fair or just. You have a personal imperative to discover which side is correct and a hatred for injustice. There's usually some blindness about who they are within karmic situations as they relate to others. So when you're in the middle of a karmic situation, you can get
common or karmic.
Karmic.
I got a question off topic.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm online on YouTube and everything, I hear a lot of instructors say karmic person, karmic man or woman. What do they mean by karmic?
Karmic is, so you understand the law of karma, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we bring in a karmic partner or a karmic situation, something that creates an obstacle or an some kind of detour in our life that we feel is a detour, right? Something that triggers us. That is typically you're learning a lesson, like what your soul when your soul incarnated into this experience, your soul chose your mother and your father, and your soul chose what emotionally and physical experiences to go through in this lifetime. Now, of course, we have free will, but in a general consensus, what astrology really is at its core is the blueprint to the navigation of our life, right? In our consciousness. So when something karmic pops up, it was meant to be this way. Like you were meant to meet this person. It may feel fated. It may feel like it was meant to be, like you feel like you were meant to be a healer or a shaman, right? So going through the process of discovering these parts about you is in itself karmic as well. And with Mars conjunct the North Node, anything that is aspected nodes, especially conjunction, is like a very deeply embedded karmic lesson in your life. So because you have Mars conjunct the North Node, anything Mars related is gonna appear and feel very karmic to you. So it's almost like when you learn something about being a healer or just being a man and in general, these lessons can be very karmic in nature, meaning it was meant to happen. It could be from a past life. You fucked up in a past life and now you're making amends to it right now. Going through it will activate certain emotions, right? Guilt, shame, usually. And these certain emotions have to be processed and released and let go of to learn the lesson, to evolve, to raise your vibration.
I see.
So you have a very karmic life here, and with Chiron retrograde in the 11th house, this is about that. This means that you have access to your past life gifts. So this is probably why you feel like you're a warlock or a witch or a shaman, because you probably were in a past life, right?
Makes sense. Yes, because I do know that I have some of my family are I recently told that there are some things about my family I did not expect. I learned like, whoa, they were into some magic and everything.
Your parents were?
No, my family on both sides.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was like shocked.
Yeah. I mean, if you're surrounded with it, then that's definitely
I didn't even know. Plus, I know that there's some things that I want to talk about that I was shocked to know about and learn. Wow, so this is why I feel so drawn to the occult and spirituality and everything.
understand. Myself as well. I had a really unorthodox childhood. Growing up was very, very difficult for me,
Mm.
and I through time and through working with astrology and working with like things like plant medicines and going through experiences, that I felt were very karmic because I have Saturn conjunct my North Node.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those hard learned lessons that just keep coming around to make me a master of myself. So you're becoming a master of yourself as well. But yours is going to be much more like in your face, aggressive, and about needing to create scaffolding of your consciousness. So, like, if you just die, like, say, have you ever done ayahuasca?
Yeah,
Okay, so say you went to do ayahuasca, right? It's going to crack your
yeah.
mind wide open, and it's going to make you super aware of all these different parts of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not ready to fully take responsibility for all these things, like, because the more power you have, the more responsibility is required, because you draw people in, and like being a healer is tricky in this day and age, man.
I
Like,
seen it. I
right.
know that. I realized in my
So the more people you draw to you means the more powerful you are. It means the more things you get to learn, the more things you get to master, and you have to master yourself. It's easy to get sucked into addiction, or get sucked into unhealthy relationships, or start taking people's energy on, right? And like start like attracting energy vampires and all these different difficult things,
yes.
like succubuses that like suck the life out of you. So you really, really have to be deeply in tune with these energies. The more deeply in tune you are, the more efficient of a healer you will be. Okay. And this requires like a large amount of like meditation and like mastering your mind. But
Yes, but I've been doing that. I I've been I've been meditating, and there's been some times where uh, I need to get back on it.
good, beautiful.
But it's very challenging sometimes.
Okay. So the flip side of this coin, right,
Mm-hmm.
is the other aspect of the Chiron energies, because we can get sucked into these Chiron based learning lessons, which is how we sort of lie to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So with Chiron in the 11th house, all right, it's in Libra in the 11th house. So you have that relationship thing going with Chiron as the wounded healer, right? And the way that Chiron teaches us is through experience. So through each experience you go, that's going to break you down. That's going to make you feel vulnerable. That's going to make you feel like maybe you can't do it. You have to face all these energies within yourself in order to move through it efficiently, and that requires really a deep ability to control your emotional states and not let them get out of whack. And Chiron in the 11th house signifies a crisis over the possibility of playing a unique role in culture. This house is all about giving our creative gift during our lifetime to this world. This aspect is a serious crisis over creativity and idealism. So the exact thing that you're chasing is the exact thing that's your greatest, like your gift is your wound, basically, and vice
What?
versa. Your gift
Oh,
is your wound.
my yeah. Oh, so what do you mean by that? My gift is my
Or I should say that reverse. Your wound is your gift. All right, meaning that you have this feeling, this deeply embedded feeling in you, that you're meant to do something great in this world, right? Like
yes.
you're a healer, you're meant to do something really big. But at times it may feel like this is so big you don't know how to get there. You don't know where to go. You feel lost in it. It's like a big ocean of this possibility, but it's always like, and the older you get, the more intense this will get. It's like the closer you get, the more it slips away. It's just like it's like a carrot on a stick. It's always right there. You're always
Achieve.
trying to learn this and achieve that and grow more and go deeper and heal better and be a better shaman, right?
Yeah.
But this is saying the actual feeling, all right, the energy behind that feeling of playing a unique role in this world is the wound in itself. So you will grow faster if you let go of the idea of being this great version of yourself. Because the fact is that you feel like you don't have it. When you feel like you don't have it, then you're always chasing, like, it's what we call destination preoccupation. You're always trying to get somewhere. You're always trying to learn something. You're always trying to figure something out. There's always some kind of test and process. And to an extent, that's okay. But with Chiron in this house, this can be a very obsessive nature about it. It can actually pull you off your truth path if you get too obsessive about it, right? So this Chiron the 11th stimulates Uranus to create an outlet for the works of the 10th house. If the power of Uranus is not released, the native has no vehicle for self-expression. We must recreate the love of individuality, uniqueness, and learn to appreciate the gift of each person. Okay, so this to me, so I'll go over the Saturn and Uranus aspects in a minute, but basically you are a wounded healer, right? And in order to be able to really step into the healthy aspects of this wounded healer, you must allow this energy to move through you and sort of be the conscious observer all the time. Let go of these things that make you feel obsessed, that probably also drive you at the same time. But there's a slight difference, and these karmic situations that come into your life are going to teach you this through breaking you down. Okay, you have a strong inner feeling of a great destiny, which may be impossible to attain, even express. If you are attached to your ability to make your goal, first of all, you will not attain it. Secondly, you will get sick from the struggle. The highest level of awareness for you is to realize that the energy really flows when you just channel it. But you have to learn how to channel it because when you're coming from the mind space, like when you're being very cerebral about it and you're breaking things down through analysis, you'll get to the point of analysis paralysis, and then you'll just be incredibly frustrated. So the key is to just find what feels right, learn to listen to your heart, and allow it to flow through you, right? To channel.
Okay.
Key to optimizing the Chiron energy in this house is to learn detachment and letting go. So this is like you have a vision in your mind, right? Instead of diving deep into the process and trying to figure out all the mechanics, you create the vision and then you let go and allow source to take over and bring things in. You don't go chasing anything. You allow it to come to you. And you do that through trust and through faith. But in order to be able to trust and faith, you have to let go of control, which is the Saturnian energy. So on that note, let me ask you, how's your relationship with your mother?
It's perfect. Well, both of my parents are dead.
Both your parents are dead?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Okay.
So because you have Saturn in the 4th house, that definitely means that there's some kind of karmic struggle with your relationship to your mother. Now, this may be because she's dead, or it may be things that were left unsaid, or it could be a myriad of different things. But basically, this is a part of your path, because the South Node is here too, right? This is a part of your path that you must master yourself in order to keep yourself grounded. So what I'm intuitively feeling here is that you may not have a sense or feeling of home, right? Like you don't feel at home in your own body, or you don't feel at home where you live, or you don't feel at home around your friends or your other family. And this non-feeling of home keeps you feeling ungrounded. It keeps you feeling like you need to go somewhere else, to go explore, to go discover, to go find something else, because whatever you're doing is not, it's not hitting the button. It's not full. You feel like that there's something missing and there's something else out there that you need to figure out, learn, find, obtain, whatever. And the key here is to go within to whatever relationship that you have with your mom. Maybe do some, like, go talk to a medium that talks to dead people, or you know, just meditate, or do some kind of divination practice that will help you look into your relationship with your mother.
I thought it would be with my father and everything, not my mom.
Well, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay.
But you do have the North Node and the South Node in the 10th and 4th house. And the 4th house represents home and family and the mother. And the 10th house represents the father and your life purpose. So your feeling of your life purpose, the way that you approach your life purpose, is in direct correlation to the vibrational attachment you have about your father. So that is another validating confirmation that you're operating from the wounded space, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but because you're operating still from this sort of shadow aspect of Chiron, there's this fundamentally obsessive nature that drives you, but it's fundamentally obsessive because you've suppressed whatever feelings you have about your father. And in order to really be able to feel like a man, especially with Mars here, Mars represents your manhood, represents your divine masculine energy, right? So there's something here about going through your life experience that has to do directly with your self-confidence and self-worth, and your self-confidence and self-worth in relationship to how you make money. So basically, when you feel really confident in yourself, when you feel like you're coming from an authentically confident, fulfilled place, you're going to make a shitload of money. But when you're coming from a wounded place and you're compensating and not facing those inner feelings, that's when you could be trying new things and nothing seems to be working. Right? So that's how you know if you're lying to yourself or if you're on the right path. Now, you do have a grand Earth trine here between the North Node, Neptune in Capricorn, and the Sun in Gemini. So it's right on the cusp of a Earth and air trine. So this is really positive because this means that you're really good at structuring like your life in order to
structuring. Not really.
You're not.
No.
Okay, so then
I'm total opposite. Like I follow the beat of my own drum, and I do where I feel right.
Well, that's what I mean by structuring.
Huh?
Going to the beat of your own drum is exactly what I'm talking about. That's you're listening to your intuitive guidance to structure your life to go forward and whatever it is you want to go forward through.
Oh, because I thought you meant like have everything all organized and placed out.
No. What I'm talking about is in your consciousness.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people, they'll like work too hard and sacrifice themselves and not take care of themselves, and they'll overanalyze like their approach to something like a business or a work or a project, and they'll get lost in some kind of imbalance or compensation. But for you intuitively feel like naturally like that you're being guided in the right direction, and you know how to structure your consciousness, structure your day, structure yourself to be able to sustain and maintain these processes, right? The only trick here is that you need to make sure, like, so say like you're doing like an energy healing or something like that, and you're working with people, because you are coming from a sort of damaged place, which we all do, like the first 5 years that I was doing my healing work, I used to take on people's energy because deep down, I felt like I deserved to be punished because of my childhood, upbringing. When I was a teenager, I used to stutter really bad.
Oh.
For actually about until I was about 18, 19 years old. Then I started smoking weed and it like went away, but it sort of suppressed it. I just sort of dumbed it down. Right. But that's a blockage in the throat chakra. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to speak my truth. So my throat chakra didn't, and I was such a nervous wreck. I got my ass kicked a lot when I was a kid because I was a nervous wreck. I would always have a difficult time expressing myself. And so what did I do throughout my life? Because you have some similar vibrations here to me, actually. And now I'm 42 now, so I've been doing this for a little while. And everything that I've chosen to do throughout my life, I used to defuse bombs for a living in the military. Then I competed in bodybuilding, and now I do all this biohacking shit, and I sit with Mother Ayahuasca, and I do these different plant medicines, all this shit that nobody really fucking knows about, right? But I've decided to go deep into these things like all these unorthodox aspects of life that nobody really understands, because I want to understand them so that I can have a full integrated knowledge and understanding of the mind, body, and spirit, so that I can be the best healer I can be, right? So this obsessive nature, although it may be, it has its pros and cons, and you're going to kind of be dealing with this throughout your life, right? This is something that you're going to come, like, as you elevate to the next level, you're going to have new challenges, and you're going to have new things that are going to come in to test your authority, to test your authenticity, and to test your own guidance within yourself about what you want to create and what you want to do.
Wow.
But with this grand trine, this is basically saying that this part of the consciousness game is automatic for you. You're always going to be able to find your footing. Okay, so that's a huge plus. Now, you do have the moon conjunct Pluto retrograde here in the 12th house.
I also have Pluto in my 12th house.
Yes, the moon and Pluto in the 12th house.
Yeah.
So, and you're also a Sagittarius rising. So with these being in Sagittarius and being in Sagittarius rising, you just want to get out there, you want to travel, you want to fucking learn, you want to figure it out, you just want to know everything. But I will say, but I will say Pluto conjunct the moon is a very intense aspect, especially in the 12th house, because emotionally, when you're connected with Pluto, you just dig deep. You're intense. Like there's no two ways about it. Like in every way, you're intense. You're a super deep and intense dude. Now, this can go down some unwanted rabbit holes. What's up?
Okay, go ahead. I was getting a phone call.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So, and with Pluto in the 12th house, Pluto in the 12th house will invite a lot of tests into your life. This invites, because Pluto is a very dark energy. It's energy of transformation, right? But this is transformation, you know, death and rebirth kind of transformation. So with this conjunct your moon, you're always feeling the deepest and darkest of everybody's shit. All right. But this is sort of normal for you. But when people come in that are trying to manipulate you, or maybe trying to like, this could be like, you know, people trying to come in that might try to get over on you, you know, like on a business deal, or people that come in, a friend that you're going to have to learn a big lesson from, right? Or a relationship that just breaks your fucking heart because you had to learn how to stand in your own boundaries. Pluto is all about learning through the hardships of you know, when our ego is too strong, of transforming or transmuting that energy to create stronger emotional boundaries. And this works directly with Chiron, because Chiron is they call it the rainbow bridge. It's the energy that bridges the gap between Saturn and Uranus. So Saturn is our control dynamics, right? When we stay in a control dynamic, we have a good structure, but we have no growth, right? We don't want to expand, and we're afraid of the unknown. But so we have to learn how to access the Uranus energy, and you just happen to have some really good aspects here with Uranus. You have Uranus. It's trine to your sun, right? Hold on a second. I'm seeing that. Uranus trine to your sun, and then square to Mercury. Yeah. So Uranus trine the sun is an amazing position. Now it's also square Mercury. So this is where you get the battles in your head. Like, and this all has to do with your self-worth and self-confidence. With Neptune and Uranus both retrograde in your second house, and Jupiter here too. You're going through your Jupiter return right now, by the way. So Jupiter return. So this means that you're in a year of major growth when it comes to your self-worth and your self-confidence.
Okay.
In relationship to the money that you make. So if you take a step back and observe your life with everything that's going on in it, right? Is money flowing in? Are you in or are you in like a scarce or lack mindset where you're in survival mode trying to make ends meet, or are you actually doing pretty good? You're feeling good about yourself and things are flowing. If things are in flow, you're in the right place.
I've been, I lost my job. I was laid off from my job due to COVID.
Okay, so it's an opportunity for you to step into your healer archetype.
So I started. Well, I'm gonna start my business. So I craft oils I make candles and oils and herbs and charms. I sell them online.
Oh yeah.
And I made a few of them online. I got some sales, not much, but they helped a little bit from time to need. I'm on unemployment and still searching some ways to make money and everything.
There you go.
I'm fine, but the last couple of months I've been doing a lot of shadow work and healing and roving and grounding and meditating, and all of a sudden I got this huge flow of money, like almost like from like it was from unemployment, like more than I was actually thought I was gonna get back, and plus my taxes too.
Beautiful.
Like so much like a shock. Like how the hell did I get
It's a good shot, right?
all
That
that?
that right there is your Jupiter return, buddy. That's your
Okay.
Jupiter return.
So that's Jupiter return.
Yes.
And when is that Jupiter return coming and go?
It started in December. So you said the last couple months have been
Yeah.
going on, right?
Yeah.
So between the Great Conjunction and your Jupiter return starting, this is going to be going throughout the year until December.
So this whole year.
You see, so this is a very auspicious time to be starting that business and to creating that and building your passion, because this Jupiter return is in favor of you growing and evolving based on your self-confidence, self-worth. And when you're doing what you love, you feel confident, you feel good, you feel like, yeah,
yes.
I'm doing something that I love, right? Mm-hmm. So this is also the lesson between you, your Chiron trine over to Jupiter, which means that. So this again is a very positive aspect. Actually, I'm gonna read it straight from my book here, because this is I feel like this is very important information for you to know. Let's see here. Okay, Chiron trine to Jupiter activates nearly perfect perceptual skills from birth, which will cause early brilliance and artistic success. This native is irresistible and easily finds a niche in successful operation. The world desires this native, but lurking deep within is a great occult comprehension of reality which may or not manifest. Around the time of Uranus opposition, which is right when you're about 36, 37, so you still got ways to go, a test situation will occur which will decide whether this native will be just wonderful and successful, or whether he or she will suffer in the cauldron of magic to manifest the gift felt deep inside. If this native manifests the high energy of the trine from Jupiter to Chiron, great powers will come from Jupiter through Chiron. So you really have to, it says here, there's one person that has Chiron the 11th, exact trine Jupiter in the 7th. He is known as one of the greatest minds of the 20th century. Brilliant author Arthur Koestler, also Chiron trine Jupiter. So, so this is really great for this is brilliant energy, and this is in your vision of what you want to do and your self-worth and self-confidence. Like I said, but they say that there's a fine line between brilliance and insanity, right? The smarter you are, the less you fit into society, the more creative, the more artistic. Like if you're beyond your time, which I honestly think you are.
I've been told that I'm an old soul. I've been told from younger that I was an old man trapped in a young man's body.
Yeah. So there's a certain approach that is required to optimize this energy. Is what this is saying. And I think that you're going to learn a lot through your Saturn return. But I really do feel here that there's something about your relationship with your mother that keeps you ungrounded. And that keeps a slightly unhealthy relationship with your Saturn. Okay. So we need to learn to access the Uranus energy, which is, Uranus is trine to your North Node, and it's, I'm sorry, no, it's not trine. That's Neptune. So again, and Neptune at 29 degrees of Capricorn, that's a powerful Neptune. So this is a lot of very deep energy that has a lot of archetypal nuances in your self-confidence and self-worth, right? And what you're doing. Okay. So be careful of grandiosity, being too confident, being too just over the top with everything that you're doing.
Arrogant?
Not maybe arrogance, but more just you see yourself bigger than you are. You see yourself more capable than you really are. You just have to keep yourself in check and humble. If the vision of who you are is not bringing in the size of a paycheck that you think it should be, then there's a direct correlation between your confidence level and what you do and the money that you make.
I see. Okay.
So when you take a step back and you observe what's going on, look at how your life is flowing. Being on unemployment, like that's fucking great, man. Like at least like this is giving you time to work through your shadow while you're still financially taken care of, right?
Yeah,
So
I always.
that's a plus. Now, you also have Black Moon Lilith here in the ninth.
And Virgo.
No, your Black Moon Lilith is in Leo.
No, it's in Virgo.
Not with the tropical ecosystem. It's not. No.
Tropical? I thought it was in Virgo, and I have it in the 8th house.
What? No, it's in the 9th house. So there are about 28 different astrological systems that can be used. So chances are you are using the tropical Placidus, tropical equal house. This is what resonates with me the most. But you know, each one is going to, like, what I've learned over the years of studying astrology is that as I evolve in my understanding of this, whenever I read a chart, it is true and accurate for that time in my life, whatever I'm experiencing or going through or perceiving. So this is where it is in this chart, and this is going to be relevant to certain parts of your consciousness that you maybe haven't you maybe haven't connected to yet.
So I like a lot of charts that I've been using my own. They're tropical and Palladius.
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
You're on tropical.
Tropical equal.
Yeah, and there's also things, is it Palladius, I think?
Placidus.
Placidus, yes. And a lot of it, I was like, okay, so when I typed in, I found my nail chart, and then I started learning more about it, and then I thought that I had Black Moon in Virgo and in the 8th house. I didn't know that there were many charts of it.
Yeah, and look, astrology it's an art form, right? So when I'm doing astrology chart, I channel the energy. I'm not analyzing it. I'm feeling into the energy of the vibration of the planets, and I'm channeling that to you. So this is me in my flow state, right?
Okay.
So whatever the energy speaks to me in reference to the other aspects, you know, like it's giving me messages to give to you. But you can study another type, and if that resonates with you, by all means, you know, like go into it. It's really good to be exposed to different kinds.
Okay, so this chart that I see is my natal chart, but it's from a higher version type of chart that works well with you.
It's not a higher or lower. That's not synonymous with what we're talking about. This is just different.
Okay.
It's very, very small, minute different. And this is my mentor taught me this way, and this way works the best for me.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So with Black Moon Lilith,
I learned something new.
Beautiful. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
So with Black Moon Lilith in the 9th house, well, really on the cusp, this is where you can sell yourself almost pretty much to anybody. Like you can get people to believe shit just by wordplay, right? But you have to be careful because there's also a powerful power dynamic here where it can make you feel powerful to do that in a manipulative way. So you want to make sure that you're not manipulating anybody.
I have sometimes when I'm on my lower vibration, I realize I can be very negative, controlling.
We all do that.
Very vindictive and spiteful and cruel.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, brother. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Just being aware of it is the biggest, most important aspect of that.
Yes.
Okay, because when you're in a higher vibration, you don't want to manipulate people or anything. If you're going to use a manipulation, you're going to use it to help manipulate themselves out of their own way. Like you see how someone self-sabotages themselves, then you know if you act a certain way, it's going to get a certain response. So you purposefully choose a navigation way to help them see their own shit without them even realizing that you're doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, different ways and everything.
Yeah, and it's all about trial and error and exploring different things. So we also have Mercury here in Taurus. Now, Mercury in Taurus is very stubborn, and this is your communication. So this is another sign that you can be very stuck in your ways. All right, especially with your belief system, especially with like your life purpose. Like, so you want to watch that sort of self-sabotaging energy within yourself, like literally manipulating yourself into like making bad decisions.
I see.
So we look at your solar return chart. You have a yod in your solar return chart. So
A yard?
yeah, so a yod is also known as a finger of God, right? This is a karmic lesson that you're going to be learning next year. Okay, this is sort of, so when our souls come into this 3D world, into this incarnation, we decide to learn certain lessons, right? So this is saying that one of those lessons in your life that's going to change your life forever is going to happen sometime in this next year. And it just so happens that there's two quincunxes in a sextile right here, right? That is the yod. And the point at which the yod meets here is the learn lesson. And this just happens to be in your 7th house in Uranus. So this is relationship. This is all about, there's going to be, you're either going to come into a relationship or something's going to happen with a significant relationship. This could also be like a partnership, like a business partnership too. But what I'm feeling is that you're going to meet someone and they're going to rock your fucking world, dude.
I got lots of trust issues, extreme trust issues.
So Uranus is all about growth, expansion, and getting out of this Saturnian energy. So with the Saturnian energy still in the 4th house and Pluto here too, you're going to be facing some of these, mommy issues in order to make you grow. So what I'm intuitively feeling here is that whoever comes into your life is going to be a representative. And look, it's 555 when as I'm looking at this, when I'm talking about it, which means change. So you're about to meet somebody, bro, and this person is going to fucking change your life because they're going to mirror to you this relationship issue that you have from your mother. They're basically they're going to remind you of your mother in a deep childlike sense, right? Like, and that's what we typically do throughout our life. Like I've attracted a lot of women that related to the deep trust issue that I had with my mother, because my mother, I felt like abandoned me when I was a kid, right? So this is about bringing up these abandonment issues and these rejection issues from childhood and giving you a chance to face it, to feel it. And this is about letting go. There's some kind of self-confidence, self-worth thing here that you're going to be letting go of, and it's going to activate unconscious emotional patterns in relationship to relationships. Your ascendant is Libra. Your moon is in Libra in the 12th house. And you also have a grand trine here. And you have a lot of energy in your 8th house, bro. You have Mercury conjunct Venus, conjunct North Node, conjunct Black Moon Lilith, conjunct the Vertex, conjunct the fucking sun, all in your 8th house. Bro, this is massive transformation because when you're clearing out the 8th house, this is all the subconscious belief systems that have been holding you back are going to show their shit. They're going to show their face. And with Black Moon Lilith conjunct the North Node, all your bad habits are you're gonna be getting called out for them. And the Vertex is here too. The Vertex is fate. This is destiny. This is going to be a very fated and destined year for you. And you're going to have to make sure that you take care of your physical health. Your physical health is going to, like, if you're making bad decisions or you're being triggered or you're going in a direction that's other than your highest vibrational good, it's going to hit you in your body. Your nutritional, like the way that you take care of your body is going to change. You might have digestion issues while you're going through the stress and stuff like that. But overcoming this karmic lesson that you're going to be learning is going to be a massive step in the right direction of you discovering true and pure happiness in your life.
Okay.
So this is very exciting.
Okay. I get that. What do you mean? Do you mean like friend relationship or like romantic?
No, this is the house of like significant intimate relationships, like someone that you want to marry.
Oh, marriage wise.
This is something that the relationships in the 7th house are deep and vulnerable and commitment based. So if you start a business, right, you had a business partner that was an investor or whatever, this could be that kind of relationship too, because that's very vulnerable, right? But more often than not, Uranus in the 7th, and this is going to be very unexpected. It's going to come out of fucking nowhere. So even after I'm telling you this, don't get in your head and start to think, I got to start looking out for this. I got to figure it out. I got to find, I got to see, I got to control it. Because it's these control dynamics that the universe is trying to get you out of, right? So in order to pull you out of it, it's going to happen out of fucking nowhere. It's going to make you feel a feeling that you didn't expect or you've never felt before. And when you feel new feelings, it has a ripple effect in your consciousness. It shifts you, it changes you, it makes you grow. And with it being quincunx to the south node, you're gonna have to let shit go, but the feeling is gonna be like, what the fuck do I let go of? I don't know what to let go, but you're gonna be triggered. And it's literally when you're in the middle of that trigger, learning how to accept the trigger and be okay with what's going through. And I have a feeling you're gonna be coming back to watching this video in like 2 months. And you're like, holy fuck, everything's happening just like he said. Right? It's gonna be good, man. But with all this concentrate, I mean, you have a stellium here in your 8th house. With the North Node here, means that you're going to be meeting a lot of new people too. This is also about your sexuality, especially with Black Moon Lilith conjunct the Vertex, conjunct the North Node. This is wherever you're suppressed sexually is going to come up. It's because that sexual suppression of yourself, your sexual energy is your creative energy. It's how you get in your flow. So you're going to have to get out of your head and into your heart to be able to handle all this. It's basically, bro, your consciousness is about to expand, crack open a new layer of this shell. And the shell is going to purge all this subconscious shit that has been keeping you held down. And I feel like there's a big thing about being honest with yourself. And that's why you have the little, the little stutter there, is because there's something that is from most likely childhood that you have been lying to yourself about it for so long that it's just become a truth to you. And this truth is going to be called out. And that's going to help you evolve through this stutter. And it's going to really help you to learn how to speak honestly and authentically and truly with yourself. Because we have here Mercury conjunct Venus in Gemini. This is about this is all about learning how to understand what you want to receive, how you want to receive it, where you want to go, who you want to be, really. So right now, like, you may be over focused on your life purpose because you feel like you don't deserve love, you don't know how to receive love, or you don't know how to be in a relationship, or there's some kind of thing there when it comes to relationships. You're probably like, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to fuck with it. I don't want the headache because it always brings me this or that. And this is going to make you, a part of you, want to grow through that and grow out of it. Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's, well.
So you're already trying to analyze it. Just because
I overthink everything.
Exactly. And this is how this Chiron energy self-sabotages, because you try to figure everything out. The fact is, bro, the bigger you get and the more successful you become and the more you step into this healer archetype, the less you're going to be able to figure out. And the universe is going to start throwing shit that's so big at you, you're not going to have a choice to figure it out. You're going to be overwhelmed. And I got to that point a few times in my life, where it gets bigger and bigger, and you're like, fuck, I don't know. I can't, it's just too much, too many layers of shit going on. Right. Yeah. So you start to learn to just let it go and let it flow. And that's how you get in the flow state, by not overanalyzing, by accepting what is, by trusting and having faith in the universe, that the universe is going to bring to you what you need to grow, and you trust in the process, and you don't need to figure it all out, because figuring it all out is the control dynamic. That's being stuck in your Saturn energy. Okay. So we have Saturn square Uranus right now. So this is looking at who you are at a deeper level, getting to your roots, getting to your ancestry, understanding who you are at a much deeper conscious level in relationship to the world, and then adding in another energy into your life that's going to shake it up and make you realize, maybe I'm not who I thought it was. Maybe I'm not as great. Maybe like I do have some things going on that I need to face and feel and deal with. It's going to bring it up from your subconscious.
Okay.
So just be ready for your world to get a little rocked, bro. But try to remind yourself and remember that when your world gets rocked, you are growing, you're evolving, you are becoming the person that you want to be, that you're meant to be. But there are parts of the journey that are not going to feel like you think they're going to feel. And when that happens, you just have to realize that the lesson in this is to allow the feeling to be okay. And that is literally it. You don't need to control it. You don't need to change it. You just need to accept, acknowledge, and let it flow through you. Let the energy literally flow through you. Like, I remember when I first started massaging, right? I have a real gift for massage, but my intention going into it is like, I feel like, okay, I need to take all this pain from you, right? I'm a healer. I need to take it. And I would take it. I would take it on and I would hold it. It wasn't until probably about my 20-something ayahuasca ceremony that I realized like my body was starting to hurt and I was starting to get burnt out. And I realized I was starting to compensate. And I came to realize that I felt like I was the one that was healing. I didn't realize that I was a channel for divine source energy to come through me. And it was just my job to listen to my flow and not try to fix them, not try to heal them, just allow it to be whatever it is. And let this energy move through me, as opposed to me, when you try to figure it out, you stop the energy from flowing through you. So when you allow the energy to channel through you, you realize that you're just a vessel and that you have some higher consciousness coming through you and you trust what's coming through. You ever like basically what feels like a fuck yes in here, you have to take action with a fuck yes out there. But if it's a no in here, you have to have the courage to say no out there. And that is creating healthy emotional boundaries.
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
You have that inner gut feeling.
Well, not only that, there are three centers of energetic knowing. We have the intuition, we have the heart, we have the mind. All right. So we have to get attuned to all three of them. So it's getting the logic, getting the heart feeling, and then getting the gut feeling, all to be on the same page, as opposed to arguing with each other. And when you're in your head and you overthink, your mind is arguing with your heart, is arguing with your gut, is arguing with your mind.
I see.
Right? So the best way to do this is to just stop trying to figure it out and just feel, be present with whatever it is that you're feeling and allow it to be okay. Really, it's as simple as that. But you'll be surprised that like you have to be able to acknowledge this in the middle of triggers, in the middle of the growth process, when it feels like, I just want to fucking not be here, right? And everybody processes and deals with that differently. Some people turn to drugs or alcohol. Some people turn to relationships, and some people turn to porn. Some people turn to exercise. Like, as long as it's a healthy relationship with whatever it is that you're doing, awesome. And a healthy relationship means that it creates stability and balance in your life. If it's doing something and it's creating instability or imbalance in your life, then that's what you have to look at, and that's what you have to learn the lesson from, so you can grow through it and then recreate that balance in your life.
Okay. I have two off-topic questions. One's around. I have a question. I've always realized that when I got in astrology, I attract a lot of Scorpios. I like hanging out with them. I like them. And I attract a lot of them. I'm always wondering, why is that?
Well, your Pluto is in your 12th house. So Scorpios tend to be deep and piercing, right? So you are deep and piercing yourself. That's just, let's see here. What do you have in Scorpio? You have nothing in Scorpio. So it's because you don't have that energy within yourself. So you're attracted to that energy from outside of you. And that energy helps balance you out because you have none of it on your own.
So it balanced me out. But I know that, correct me if I'm wrong, it is Pluto and Mars the ruler of Scorpio?
Well, Pluto is the modern ruler. Mars is exalted in Scorpio.
Oh.
So that's a little bit different.
Okay. All right. So my other question is, I attract a lot of broken people.
Of course.
I attract a lot of people who are hurt, broken, have vision trauma.
Well, you're a healer, man.
Yes. I try to heal them. And I was I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way, and I realized I can't do nothing about it but to just be there for them if they choose to.
Exactly. Let go of trying to heal them, and you just your energy alone, just by you being you and being present and holding space, is the healing power of you.
I see that. I have a theory. One amount of people they'll always act up strange. Like, for example, like I might be at a friend's house, and few people come in, and will go down. Like it's like I bring I flex something back to them, or I my energy or when my presence evokes something in them. I'm not really certain.
Yeah, so this is all part of being a healer, bro. Welcome to the healer life. Like when you're into shamanism, when you're into, you know, like working with energy and consciousness for a living, you are a mirror reflection of everyone around you, especially with your Pluto conjunct your moon in the 12th house. You show people their shit just by being around them. So you're a triggering agent for people. So when you accept this about yourself, then
So that's why they've been having. I've been always wondering why my friends, the Scorpios, all of them, and I was wondering why is always drama.
well, this is also a mirror reflection for you to look at your life, because you, in some way, shape, or form, are feeding off that drama for yourself. Which
So,
this is exactly what I was talking about being stuck in that Chiron low vibration energy.
so like a vampire then? I'm attracting and feeding
Maybe,
off of
maybe
it?
not, but less specific than that. Everything in your life and your reality is your teacher, right? So if you have drama and chaos in your life, it's because there's a lesson that you need to learn, that there's a place that you're not being authentic with yourself. And these people are mirror reflections of you. This is how you learn, bro. This is the shamanic path. This is what we do. We must face our triggers in the moment, in the process, and take a step back and be the third person observational, you know, perspective, basically observing everything that you're doing in the present moment with others, so you can see what is teaching you at the same time what is teaching them. And this is like, you know, you don't really have to like say it. It's just, this is something that every thought, every decision, every conversation, every person you meet is your teacher. And when you approach it like that, and you start to really look at yourself, like asking yourself, why am I attracting this drama into my life? What is it trying to teach me? The universe will bring you downloads, insights, but you have to be out of your head in order to receive these downloads. So if you're constantly overanalyzing it and trying to figure it out, you're actually going to block out the intuitive guidance, because that's in your head, not in your heart. When you're in your heart, you get the answers like that. But in order to get in your heart, you have to feel these feelings that you don't want to feel. And that is what I'm talking about that Saturnian, your relationship with your mother, man. There's something about when you're a child in your relationship with your mother that's unresolved there.
I have a great relationship with my mom. It's more. I think it's more of my father.
Well, it may be with your father too, okay? But I think that you're missing the point about this whole mother thing. It could be the way that you coped with your mother's death, right?
Oh, okay.
It could have been something that, you know, like you thought it was so good and it made you feel a certain way about your father. All right, like you have to go deeper than just the regular face-to-face. This is more taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, the bigger reason of why there's something about you feeling rooted or grounded in yourself as a man in this life. That something that went down with a divine feminine caregiver in your life that made you shut down in a certain way, and that shutting down created a compensation in your life that made you feel a certain way about your father, right? Or maybe intermingled with that. But at the very core, this is your relationship with the mother figure. And it's something. Now, this isn't even to say that your mother ever did anything wrong to you. Okay, this is not a matter of good or bad. This is a matter of an emotional response to something that's karmic, a lesson that you're meant to learn in this life. Okay. And that's why your relationship with like when you take a look at your relationship with women, have they been successful? Like, are you married? Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm gay.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've always hanged out. I always had friends who are women, and I always hang out with them because I feel like we're very similar.
Okay. So this is going to be more about the divine feminine energy in your partner. Okay, because
Oh,
everyone has
okay.
divine feminine, divine masculine.
Hmm.
So this is about how you receive your values and morals and ethics. It's think of it as the divine masculine is very structured. It's
Hmm.
very like, this is how I go out into my life. This is how I make shit happen. This is how I motivate myself to go do something out in the world. The divine feminine is about how you receive, how you allow yourself to feel joy, how you allow yourself to receive love, right? To receive really, abundance. So how's your relationship life in general? Do you always seem to find like you are like it ends the same way, or there's a certain pattern that you experience?
When I'm dating,
Yeah.
never been on a date.
Never been on a date?
Never dated.
Wow. Okay. So
Why?
have you ever been in a relationship? Never. Oh, so you don't even. So you don't even. So how do you know that you're gay?
Sure. I have a few experiences.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. So you've had enough experience to know that that's where you're at. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's good. But something is going to come in here that's gonna change your life, and it's going to have to do with a significant relationship, maybe the first significant relationship of your life, and because
Mm.
in our relationships that in our intimate relationships that we have in life is a direct representation of our relationship with our parents. Okay.
I see.
So whenever this relationship comes in, and now, I mean, this is going to be huge for you because this is exactly what you need. Relationships teach us to grow.
I have
They,
a lot of trust issues. Extremely trust issues. The
okay.
more
So,
I
and
have I've been through a lot of
I'm
stuff that I realized
sure you have.
I had to cope with and build myself up. So I have like 10. I'm seeing therapy and I'm evolving and working through it.
Okay.
My trust issues, severe trust issues.
So when you have trust issues, that means that you don't trust your own heart. That means your heart is closed off and it's shut down. So what this is going to do is somebody's going to come in, it's going to crack your heart open, and you're probably not going to know what to do with it. But that is the like once you become a true healer, when you open your heart and you come from your heart space. So right now you intellectually resonate with things in a certain path, but I have a feeling that this is going to completely change your path.
Oh.
Okay. Once you open your heart, bro, it introduces you to the real you. So this really, like, you don't really know yourself yet. You know the archetype that you bring out into the world from your life experiences through your conditioning, but you haven't met your heart yet because your heart has been shut down by something that happened in your childhood, right? So what I'm saying is,
makes sense.
what's that?
It makes sense now.
Yeah, and this, bro, this is how we go through our growth process. This is how we go from being a chunk of coal to a diamond. This is the Plutonian energy. But Uranus, which is the significant sign here for this coming year for you, is the great awakener. All right. You're going to go through a huge fucking awakening this next year.
Oh, okay.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So we got about 3 minutes left. You have any questions?
What should I do? What would be the best way for me to come more in tune?
By doing everything that we just talked about.
Okay.
Allowing, not trying to figure it out, being in your heart space, learning how to process emotions, not trying to force things, not trying to figure it all out. Find like, as long as you're involved in like a passion project or something that you really love to do or care about, this is going to help you to ground yourself. But there's going to be something that's going to come up that's going to rock your world, and nobody is going to be able to tell you how to really navigate this, because essentially you're going from a cerebral understanding of yourself to an experiential understanding of yourself, and that shift from intellectual to experiential, nobody will ever, like, this is how you learn who you are, right? So I went through many years of this, and I used to go to astrologers and psychics and you know, did a ton of ayahuasca, and I went down every fucking deep hole that, you know, you can possibly think of to go. And at the end of the day, it all just kind of unfolded the way it was going to unfold. I just kept trying to force it. And I can see you trying to do the same thing. All right. So don't try to just get there. Don't try to be on the other side of it. You have to learn to just accept the journey and be okay and relax into it and just let shit go, man. Let shit go. And this is facing the shame and the guilt deep down that's buried in your heart that has been too traumatic for you to feel throughout the years. But this all has to be okay. Don't try to figure it all out. Just let go, say fuck it, and enjoy the ride. Healthy detachment is critical for you this next year.
Okay.
So
my last question is, since in my social life, I have friends.
Okay.
I have one friend who's she's learning spirituality, but not like on our level wise. And she's in her own life, and we hang out. She's doing with her lessons, and so every time I come around, I hang out with her and her boyfriend and some other people. It's always drama, especially when it's like when I'm hanging out with her. It's always drama between them two. It got to a point where she tried to slit her own wrist. Cops got involved.
Wow.
There was tons of drama and more like that. So I pulled away, trying to come back, and like trying to figure out, do I want this friendship? Just if he's not involved, we're great friends. We're hanging out with a good time.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to figure out, what should I do with this whole thing? Should I just completely heal from it and cut it off and move on?
Well, is that healing from it? What are you healing from?
I don't know.
Heal from that. Have you asked yourself these questions?
I'm trying to figure out what am I there for?
Number one, stop trying to figure it out, because you're trying to fix other people's shit, and it's not your place to do that. They're in their own karmic lesson. That's what a karmic lesson looks like, right? So they have to navigate in their own way through their own shit. You have zero control or, you know, function in any of this. And what's probably happening is that she's leeching off you. She's probably being an energetic vampire. She probably is always, you know, just pouring her heart out to you, and then you feel really bad and you just want to support her and be there for you, but it's probably sucking the life out of you. And this is a very important teacher about the Chiron energy. This is about you feeling like you're responsible, that you need to take all that pain from her. The fact is, you can support her from far away, but you have to draw a line in your boundaries. Like, I'm not like, I love you and I'm going to sit back here because I see that you need to learn a lesson here and there's nothing that I can do about it. So if this is where, like, you have to honor yourself. If this drama that I do not want to be around continues, then I cannot be around you, and you have to communicate that to her, and in a loving way, of course. Like, you're not taking it personal, but
so it's a Chiron thing of the wounded healer, and that's
you feeling like you need to fix everything.
So that's why I'm in this friendship relationship with my friend Priscilla.
That's going to be a part of it, but this is, of course, this is not black and white, brother. This is very gray area, and like, so that is what I'm intuitively feeling for you, but I have a feeling it also goes a lot deeper than that.
Deeper.
Yeah. So when these issues are going on, there's a good chance that drama is a reflection of some kind of drama going on within your own heart that you're not willing to look at. Everything is a reflection, a mirror of you, especially with Chiron and Libra. So when you're looking at this and it bothers you and it's distasteful and you're feeling like you need to just get away from it, part of that getting away is wanting to run away from it, because like, this sucks. I don't like this. I don't want to, and I feel out of control. I feel helpless. It's all these feelings. Maybe you felt helpless when you were a child, right? And you're around this, and that it's when you look at everything as a vibration, it's a vibration of the emotions that are coming up. That is a reflection of an experience that you had in your past that embedded itself into your central nervous system. And now it's being triggered to be released. But what we do is we fight it. We control it. We want to figure it out. We want to understand it. It'll never be properly processed until you let go of needing to figure it out. That is the key. It's not your job to figure that shit out. It's your job to allow these emotions to be okay, to allow them to go through their processes without you needing to have a part in it, right?
So just let them do their thing and then create boundaries, hang out, but don't get involved and learn.
It's okay. Again, you're analyzing it. You're going to have to figure this out while you're in the moment of feeling what you're feeling. This is not an external thing. This is an internal thing. Whatever emotions it's bringing up in you, they're a mirror. So they're activating certain feelings in you that feel uncomfortable. So you have to look within. Why am I feeling like this? Why is it affecting me like this? Okay. How do I hold space? How do I, like, when you walk in, like when I walk into a room, I know myself so well now that if there's some shit like that going on, I can walk into the situation just by being me, just holding space, not even saying anything, and diffuse a situation like that. Okay. Because I know how to keep my energy so grounded and strong that it influences other people's. They start to feel my vibration, and they start to realize, like, wow, this is stupid. Let's just not argue about it. Let's go have drinks, right? Like, so this is an internal job. This is teaching you about you. So instead of looking at the details in the outside world, feel the feelings that it's activating on your inside world, in your heart, and look within and look at how you can process these feelings, and look at what, like, you really have to dig deep into these feelings of shame, feelings of guilt, feelings of resentment, feelings of not being good enough. All these things are the things that need to be acknowledged. But normally when people feel these things, it's fight or flight mode, and we stuff it down. Fuck, I don't want to feel that. Now I got to get away from this. Get away from me. Right? You have to be willing to be like, look within. Now, maybe you may leave the situation in the physical world, but in the energetic world, when you get to a point where you know what this all means, you can be around anything and not let it affect you. Okay? And this is the path of a shaman. So you are a shaman, but you have you still have a little bit of a dark night of the soul to go. Okay. So accept what is, allow things to flow, and you're going to be okay. Just remember that you're going to be okay.
Okay.
All right, brother.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. It was an honor to connect with you, and I will email you this video by tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
All right, but you have a good day.
I will. Is there any way that I can get I don't know, astrology reading, but a longer version?
What's that?
Is the entire chart been read, or have we pay again to get a fully longer version of it?
Well, look, so the way that I do this is I'm channeling the energy. So I'm going, like, the way that you're receiving it, I read how you're receiving it, and I navigate to help you understand the best I can. So if you want to learn how to read a chart, I have an astrology course that you can download on my website if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Just go click on services, and then astrology course. I have level 1, level 2. And so if you want to actually learn astrology, and I teach you how to go, like, study your own chart in there as well. So you can do that. And I think that'd be like a more appropriate course of action for what you're trying to learn about.
Okay. And my other question is, between the chart now and the tropical and Palladius chart, what is the difference between?
It's literally a calculation. It's a very small, minute difference.
But it's the exact same thing.
It's not the exact same thing. There's no such thing as the exact same thing in astrology.
So they're very similar.
They're similar, yeah. They're still in the Western astrology world. All right. There's Vedic astrology, then there's Western astrology. And in Western astrology, there's a plethora of different versions of variations, and so but in my astrology course, I go through all this and I explain it all in detail, and break it down so that you can start to explore, the different aspects that you want to explore, and really dive as deep as you want. You fucking nerd out all day long.
Okay.
All right, brother.
Okay.
All right. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
I will. You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.